How's it going, everybody? Clayton here at etrailer.com. Today we're going to be checking out the CURT 4-bike hanging style rack on our 2021 Toyota Highlander. This is going to be a great way to take 4 bikes with you. Whether you're going to the trails with your family or friends, you can get everybody's bike on here and hit the road. You're not going to have to jam it on the roof with a roof rack or try to cram it in the trunk. You'll be able to make a lot more room for you and your passengers, and just having it on the back is pretty nice as well because we're not going to have to lift it up super high. Now, when you compare this rack to a lot of the other ones out there on the market, this is going to be a great option. We're going to get a lot of really cool features, like our tapered ends so it stays a little bit more narrow, our reflectors, and the fact it tilts away is really nice as well. And in the process, it's not going to break the bank. So this is going to be really good for you guys that are hitting the trails every now and then, maybe not all the time, but if you do want a rack for all the time, we have plenty of options here at eTrailer. Now, to expand on the tapered ends, what this is going to do is it's going to make it a lot easier for taking kids' bikes with us, because those frames are a little bit smaller, so they're going to sit back here really nicely, and we can put our bigger bikes on the front. One of the benefits to having reflectors on here is we can make sure we're seeing. Our taillights might be covered up by our bike if we do happen to have a bigger one on here, so it's always nice to know that we'll be traveling safely. We are going to have 3 points of contact on our bike. We're going to have 2 on the top and 1 down here on the down tube. So this is going to be really good for you guys with metal frame bikes. I wouldn't recommend it for a carbon frame bike, but it is pretty nice. Now let's go ahead and get this thing taken off of here so you can see how it all works. We're just going to pull down on our straps, lift those up and out of the way, come down to our down tube, take that guy off, and then we're good to lift our whole bike off. Our channels are going to be made out of a nice soft plastic, so you're not going to have to worry about that damaging your frame. Now when you take your bikes off here, you want to make sure to fasten these guys back down. That way they're not flapping around when we're going down the roadway. We'll just pull those down, just like so. Now let's get a few measurements for you to help you understand where this is going to sit on the back of your Highlander. From our rear hatch to the end of our rack is about 39.5 inches. You just want to keep that number in mind whenever you're maneuvering tight areas. So now we're going to fold this down into the storage position. To do that, we're going to pull this pin, kind of flip it out like that, and pull that pin completely out. And these are going to be tethered, so you're not going to have to worry about losing these pins. So we can then fold this down, reinstall our pin. Might kind of have to wiggle that around to get the pin to come all the way through. Add the clip on the other side. Now we'll get an overall measurement for you. From the hatch to the end of our rack is right at 1 foot. Then moving down for ground clearance down here, we are going to have about 14.5 inches of ground clearance. That's good because this sits pretty high, so we're not going to have to worry about scraping it on anything. And our rack is going to tilt away, so this is really nice. We can make sure we have enough room to get into the back. So we're going to do that by pulling this pin, and then getting this pin out of here. Then we just want to loosen this wing nut on the back side. You can pull up here and tilt this whole guy away. Now we have plenty of room to get back here, grab our groceries, maybe any equipment we need when we get to the trail. I'm a pretty big guy, and it's super easy to get in and out of here. It's honestly even hard to notice that it's there. Now we can go ahead and put our trunk back down. Putting this back up in the storage position is going to be the reverse order that we did to get it to tilt away. And our rack is going to work with 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube openings, which is really good because that's a very common size, not only for our Highlanders, but also any other vehicle you might have. This is going to include a threaded pin and clip, and we do have some test course footage for you, so if you'd like to see how this bike rack performs, feel free to check it out.
This is our test course. Let's start with the slalom. This shows side-to-side action, such as turning corners or evasive maneuvering. Then on to our alternating speed bumps. This shows twisting action, such as hitting curbs, potholes, road debris, or uneven pavement. And last of all, the solid speed bumps. This shows up and down action, such as driving through a parking lot or parking garage, or driving in and out of a driveway.
All in all, this is going to be a really good entry-level rack. It has a lot of cool features, and I just like the way it looks. It's a nice steel construction, and has this nice black powder coat finish as well, so it's going to look nice and function well for a really long time. And with that being said, that is going to do it for our look at the CURT 4-bike hanging style rack on our 2021 Toyota Highlander.